The imagination age is upon us, possibly. A period beyond the information age where creativity and imagination become the primary creators of economic value. This concept holds that technologies like virtual reality and user-created content will change the way humans interact and create new economic and social structures. A key concept of this is that the rise of immersive virtual technologies such as the metaverse, cyberspace, and whatever else Web3 you want to call it, will raise the value of imagination work done by the designers and artists over, or at least up to, the level of rational thinking as a foundation of culture and economics. This will bring us to the law of accelerating returns and some of the highest compounded annual growth rates in blockchain and anything to do with basically the imagination age and the fourth industrial revolution. If this sounds interesting to you, hang out, chill, relax. So you want a crypto? I'm Joe, where the more you crypto, the more you know. Charts. I just want to point out, here's a vacuum. Look at, there's a trend on these. It's the exponential growth factor for adoption once it really kicks off, right? This is radio, household refrigerator, color TV. So back in the day, if you just had a landline in 1904, you were kicking it. Then you got some electric power and an automobile, and you were pretty much the most technological fool on your block. And this growth rate right here is where we'll start to get into the law of accelerating returns, because how long it took for this to get to here was less. Each major, paradigm shift, advancement along the way was able to build along the previous one like stairs. The accelerating growth in technology curve. The speed of technology advancement is said to be exponential, not linear. A linear would just be a line, right? This big J curve that goes up. This is the law of accelerating returns. And the fun part is that it grows exponentially, and then the rate at which it grows exponentially as well. So there's exponential growth of exponential growth. The law of accelerating returns, an analysis of the history of technology, shows that technology change is exponential, contrary to the common sense, intuitive, linear view. So we won't experience 100 years of progress in the 21st century. It will be more like 20,000 years of progress at today's rate. That's where I was talking about each generation builds on itself, so we can basically advance at a faster and faster rate. The returns such as chip speed and cost effectiveness also increase exponentially. There's even exponential growth in the rate of exponential growth, and within a few decades, machine intelligence will surpass human intelligence, leading to the singularity. Technological change so rapid and so profound, it represents a rupture in the fabric of human history. The implications include a merger of biological and non-biological intelligence, immortal software-based humans, and ultra high speeds of high levels of intelligence that expand onward into the universe at the speed of light. Yeah. Which brings us to the fourth industrial revolution from Klaus Schwab. Yes, that Klaus Schwab. And I will put this link in the description below. But it is very interesting and absolutely terrifying all at the same time. There is some stuff in here that is, yeah. But the fourth industrial revolution is a way of describing the blurring of boundaries between the physical, digital, and biological worlds. It's a fusion of advances in artificial intelligence, robotics, the Internet of Things, 3D printing, genetic engineering, quantum computing, and a whole bunch of other shit. It's the collective force behind many products and services that are fast becoming indispensable to modern life. The changes are so profound that from the perspective of human history, there's never been a time of greater promise or potential peril. Klaus Schwab, The Fourth Industrial. Yeah, that book that I just showed you. This is basically what it talks about. And it's an interesting read by far. The Fourth Industrial Revolution. From the World Economic Forum. Yes, that World Economic Forum. What does it mean? How does it spread? We stand on the brink of a technological revolution that will fundamentally alter the way we live, work, and relate to one another. In its scale, scope, and complexity, the transformation will be unlike anything else humankind has ever experienced. We do not yet know just how it will unfold, but one thing is clear. The response is it must be integrated and comprehensive, involving all stakeholders of the global polity, from the public and private sectors to academia and civil society. It's some scary stuff, but some of it is going to be based on the technology and everything else, and we are breaking into the fourth industrial revolution. So when we get through to the fourth right here, so if you don't know, the first industrial revolution, that was your steam engine, steam power plant, stuff like that. The second industrial, that was your technological, so conveyor belts, industrial, like Henry Ford kind of stuff. What was, the automotive, internal combustion engine, assembly line working, all of that kind of stuff was there. The third industrial revolution, that's your digital revolution, your cyber computer revolution. And then the fourth industrial revolution, this is your cyber physical systems, IoT, industrial internet of things, cloud computing, cognitive computing, artificial intelligence, automation, data exchange, where machines cannot replace the deep expertise, but it tend to be more efficient than humans in performing repetitive functions. And the combination of machine learning and computational power allows machines to carry out highly complicated tasks. So there's 4 themes: the interconnection, information transparency, technical assistance, and then decentralized decisions. But mostly we want to talk about the components. Mobile devices, Internet of Things platforms, advanced human-machine interfaces, authentication and fraud detection, sensors, big analytics, augmented reality, wearables, virtual reality, on-demand devices, cyber physical systems, more Internet of Things here, cognitive computing. All right. So we're going to look at the compound annual growth rate of all of these different, not all, but many of these different fields, and see over the next, 4 or 5, whatever years it is, which one of these is going to be the highest growth rate by industry, sector, region, whatever. So a compound annual growth rate is the rate of return at which the investment grows every year from beginning balance to ending balance, assuming that the profits are reinvested each year. Historically and long-term, large and strong companies have given a return between 8 to 12%. So historically, this is like, we'll call this our floor. We're looking for something 8 to 12 or better for a good investment. Investors looking for stable returns and with a long-term investment horizons can invest in a large cap companies. The potential compound annual growth rate can be around 8 to 12% in the long term. So that's our number that we're going to shoot for on this. Is this a good measurement? Is the way that we're going to look at these, is that even going to be reflective of their potential? So the compound annual growth rate is considered as a good and valuable tool for measuring the performance of an investment. The compound annual growth rate is considered as one of the most accurate ways of calculating historical returns. It takes the beginning and ending value of an investment and calculates the return based on the time period of the investment. So this is a good way to look at it. So right now, let's just go straight. Industrial 4.0, that's the fourth industrial revolution market. In general, company profiles, market position strength, 17.8% compound annual growth rate. Biotechnologies, 13.9%, 2022 to 2030. Nanotechnology, 14.5% growth in the same amount of time. And this is not blockchain, this is just in general Web 2.0 kind of stuff. Robotics market size, 22.8 for robotics for 2030. Virtual reality, now not blockchain virtual reality, just virtual reality in general, 44.8% growth. Augmented reality, 48.6% growth. So now we start getting into, let's talk about, we know Bitcoin, right? Since its inception, Bitcoin has paved the way for broad adoption of cryptocurrencies, blockchain technology, and it promises to extend the fourth industrial revolution, Industry 4.0, the wave of development and utilization of Bitcoin as a decentralized finance for the new revolution carries enormous potential for an increasingly connected global economy. Cryptocurrencies, blockchain technology, decentralized ledger technologies, and so on, Web 3.0, whatever you want to call it, will play a large part if this prophecy is to fulfill itself. The global cryptocurrency market compound annual growth rate 12.2%, with Middle Eastern countries such as Saudi Arabia being the highest growth rate within that. Crypto mining, and this includes hardware, software, Bitcoin, Ether, Litecoin, Ripple, Ethereum Classic, and some others. So you're looking at a compound annual growth rate of 11.1%. So these are within our 8 to 12%. And we can see that it may be the move away from proof of work has lowered this growth rate for the mining side of it. Blockchain AI market growth forecast 25.6% by 2030. This is looking a lot better. Blockchain AI. So now we're going to go blockchain markets, platforms and services, application, middleware, infrastructure for private, public, and hybrid blockchains. And the growth rate jumps to 68.4%. So when we start getting into blockchain platform services and infrastructure for private and public blockchains, we jump up to a 68% growth rate. Blockchain market, just in general, is 56.3% growth rate by 2029. Metaverse market growth rate 39.4% by 2030. Blockchain fintech, financial technologies, that's your DeFi, all that kind of stuff, 47.9% compounded annual growth rate by 2030. Blockchain technology, private cloud, public cloud, digital identity and payments, 85.9% compound growth. And this is blockchain Web 3.0. And blockchain IoT, Internet of Things, market anticipated to generate a compounded annual growth rate of 91.5% from 2019 to 2026. That's like in 4 years, or over, the next 4 years, 91%. Internet of Things not on the blockchain, 26.4% compound annual growth rate. So blockchain is one of the pillars of the fourth industrial revolution. We should understand that if that's where the world is going to go. I'm not saying that the whole imagination thing, that's a little Karl Marxy, or that the fourth industrial revolution, the World Economic Forum, I'm not a huge fan of Klaus Schwab, any of that stuff. I'm just saying that on the books, blockchain is a major pillar of the fourth industrial revolution, comparing it to technologies such as the steam engine, the internet, and so on, the other industrial revolutions. All right. With all of that being said, and you're still here, I would say that there's some serious growth potential. And if you're looking for a project, I would say that maybe the Web 3.0 side looks like it has more growth potential. Just an idea. But there is a lot of growth for a lot of projects out there. All right, that's all I got. The more you crypto, the more you know. Cheers. Consider liking, subscribing, comment, share. See you on the flip.